everyone. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And welcome back to our ICE Philippines second session. This is the part 2 of our two-part video podcast. The first time that we're doing it here for the celebration of the International Disaster Risk Reduction Day. And as mentioned earlier in the morning session with Manila Observatory's Dr. Sheridan Uy, the whole world through the initiative of United Nations Assembly set 13th of October every year as the Day of Disaster Risk Reduction, which started way back 1989 to promote a global culture of risk awareness and disaster reduction. Ngayong taon po, ang theme ay magfo-focus sa Target G of the Sendai Framework, which is substantially increase the availability of and access to multi-hazard early warning systems and disaster risk information and assessments to people by 2030. Ang Sendai Framework po, it's called the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030, which was adopted at the UN World Conference on DRR in Sendai, Japan. And just to share again, the urgency to achieve this target was strengthened in March 2022 by the announcement made by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres that the United Nations will spearhead new action to ensure every person on Earth is protected by early warning systems within 5 years. And please let us help spread the news. You can post anything about DRR and especially this video podcast and use the hashtags hashtag early warning for all and hashtag IDRR day. Arise Philippines, through this podcast, wants to honor the wonderful people and organizations who devote their lives to help ensure our safety from risk and disasters. At ngayong hapon po, I'm Cha Almeida from Arise Philippines, and we are happy to share with you the works of Ateneo de Zamboanga on DRR. And to discuss more about it, we have today Professor Mario Rodriguez, who will discuss about ALeRTO and how it benefits the people of Zamboanga. But before that, I want to talk to you a bit more about Professor Mario. Mr. Mario Rodriguez is an assistant professor of the College of Science and Information Technology of the Ateneo de Zamboanga University. There he teaches both in undergraduate and graduate schools. He earned his Master of Science in Teaching in the field of General Chemistry or Environmental Chemistry from Ateneo de Zamboanga University and a PhD candidate in the field of Environmental Science, major in Protected Areas and Management from the University of the Philippines in Los Baños. He has been actively involved in research since 2013 up to the present, taking project leader role. His research works are mostly related to flood disaster, mapping, and environment in both local and national. Currently, he is the project leader of the DOST Region 9 funded project titled Predicting Flood Through Machine Learning Using ALeRTO Dataset, as well as the program leader for the research, training, and development of the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability. Professor Mario Rodriguez served as the project leader of several successful projects, and to name a few, those are ADZU Phil LiDAR 1 and 2, nationwide mapping using LiDAR technology from 2014 to 2017 at Ateneo de Zamboanga University, the GeoSafer Mindanao, or Geoinformatics for Systematic Assessment of Flood Effects and Risks in the Zamboanga Peninsula, Mindanao, Philippines from 2017 to 2019. And apart from that, he will discuss more about one of his projects, the ALeRTO. He was also a co-researcher of several published researches. The recent one is the LGA-funded research on LISTO, Disaster Preparedness Manual for Localized Weather Disturbances in 2021. He's also affiliated in several institutions such as DILG 9, NEDA Region 9, Regional Geographic Information Network, or RGIN, and the Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. And now, help me, Professor Mario Rodriguez. Magandang hapon po, Professor Mario.
Good afternoon. Magandang hapon. From Zamboanga, we say it, buenas tardes a todos.
On behalf po of RISE Philippines Board of Officers, we sincerely thank you for giving us this time for this interview. We learned that it's a holiday po right now in Zamboanga.
Yeah, we are celebrating the Zamboanga Hermosa Festival.
I imagine how busy right now po kayo ngayon. And again, very thankful po kami dito sa RISE for your time. And for everyone's information, the purpose of this session is bring to light some great efforts and initiatives related to DRR, especially on early warning systems, covering the topic for this year's IDRR Day. And for this year, we want to be specific on early warning devices available here in our country sa Pilipinas po. We wanted to know ano yung status natin ngayon on early warning devices and how we can move forward. Earlier this morning, we had Dr. Nino from Manila Observatory who shared with us his experience and shared the works. At ngayong hapon, ADZU, another example of private institution serving the public on DRR, through Prof. Mario will help us understand how a university like Ateneo led to engage on promoting early warnings for DRR. So Prof. Mario, can you share with us how ADZU led to this kind of program? And specifically for you po personally, paano po kayo nagsimula o napupunta sa ganitong larangan?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Chano. Ateneo Zamboanga University as an institution, part of our mission is basically to help the poor, especially those who are affected with disaster. Now, early on, in early 2000, very active na si Ateneo Zamboanga University in terms of assisting yung mga marginalized, especially communities that help them in terms of assisting them, especially during times of disaster. Now, it was our engagement with disaster strengthened further during 2014. That is, Ateneo Zamboanga University was one of the implementer among the 14 HUCs and higher education institutions all over the Philippines. We are 14 of them. There are 14 of them, and we are one of them who implemented the Philippine LiDAR program that is spearheaded by UP Diliman. That program is basically mapping the flood-prone areas all over the Philippines using high-end technology LiDAR. And this was subsequently further expanded and extended dito sa Mindanao through the GeoSafer Mindanao project. And we mapped around 41 we generated 41 flood hazard maps in the region, and including areas of BARM that includes Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, and Polo. However, we're looking at, after that we generated the flood hazard maps, now the flood hazard map itself is incomplete. Now, it has to have a critical information as to when the LGUs should use these flood hazard maps. Then, therefore, with that thoughts in mind, we try to conceptualize paano ba, how we can reach out to the LGUs, given this technology, given the flood hazard map, how can we assist further the LGUs, especially here in Region 9. Now, then therefore, we conceptualize a system, actually, the system called the automated water level and rain monitoring using near real-time observation, or ALeRTO. That is basically a system that utilizes the existing early warning system of the Philippine government, specifically of the DOST as the sensors.
So, Prof. Mario, the main sensors that you're using are the technology of DOST, is that right?
Right.
And the way I get it, so before you will be able to have this kind of early warning system, crucial yung flood hazard maps.
Yeah, right. Right. Right.
And now we're going deeper about the ALeRTO. Just a disclaimer, I'm not an expert on AWS, but the same with our audience today, we want to send the message, siguro konting technical about ALeRTO, how it works, na maintindihan po ng mga layman, kumbaga. Especially right now, maaring nakikinig po ang iba't ibang mga LGU din na interesado for early warning systems.
Okay. So, Ms. Cha, will you allow me to share screen?
Sure po.
Okay, sige. Mag-share screen lang ako. Sandali lang po. Si ALeRTO, basically, I would like to emphasize it further that we are utilizing the DOST existing sensors, no? DOST Pag-asa, which is formerly of DOST ASTI. These sensors basically roughly around 2,000 or so, no, sensors that are distributed all over the Philippines. What are these sensors? These are sensors, these are early warning devices that were installed all over the Philippines that are critical, no, sa flood as an early warning system for flooding. So these sensors are automated rain gauge, or the what you call ARG, which are installed, no, usually sa mga mountainous or sa high you know, sa mga mountainous area or in the mountains, no, higher ground. And of course, these ARGs or automated rain gauges feeds information on as to the amount of rainfall, no, na nakaka-capture niya within the area, no, within the area. So, and then these rainfall are translated into water level, no, water level. And these water level sensors are usually also another sensor which are usually installed sa mga bridges natin. I'm not sure if you went around in Manila, no, may mga sensors tayo sa bridges. And these sensors actually monitors the water level. Okay. So for ALeRTO, we are actually harmonizing, no, and complement with the existing technology available. No, kasi ito yung mga sensors that are investment, no, ng Philippine government. Then therefore we have to maximize the investment. So we complemented the ALeRTO actually complements with these sensors of the DOST Pag-asa. So let me emphasize that these ARG sensors, no, that are present in the area, no, specific yan, no, site specific yung mga sensors at saka AWLS. So then therefore this sensor will give us information on rain. And for ALeRTO, we utilize the rainfall warning or the rainfall values of Pag-asa, no, rainfall values of Pag-asa. We understand that the standard, no, rainfall values for each region should be determined also. No, kasi magkaiba-iba yung mga rainfall values natin per region, especially per province, considering that we are in terms of our geographical location, so we are basically divided into several islands. Okay, so you have Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So nakalat tayo. So kaya currently si Pag-asa still working on the standard rainfall for each region. But nevertheless, we are using the standard values of rainfall coming from Pag-asa. So si ALeRTO utilizes the information or data coming from ARG and of course this AWLS, which are located sa mga bridges that monitors also the water level. Now, the question there is that dapat siguro this data, both of ARG and AWLS, should be processed so that itong data will be sent out as a processed data will be sent out as an information for the LGUs. Mas mabilis maintindihan ng LGU anong ibig sabihin ng say for example, volume ng rainfall 15 to 30 millimeter and so on and so forth. Then ito naman si AWLS will translate the water level sensor that is basically determines the water level in every river basins or in every part of the region, kasi localized siya. Now, ang ginawa ni ALeRTO, we process the system, automatically process the data. And we also measure the cross section of the river, site specific tayo river. So then therefore, by doing a cross section, we can determine now that ano yung critical level ng water level in every river, in every river. Sites specific tayo, kung saan mayroong mga sensor, then si ALeRTO pwede siyang pumasok. Okay? So then therefore, itong water level na we generated, we determined by the system, basically sends out information to the LGUs, directly to the LGUs, kasi site-specific tayo. So it sends out information in 3 color-coded warnings. We have yellow, which is 40%, 60% bank full. Orange, we have 80% bank full, and the red, which is the 100% bank full, which is basically umaapaw na yung river. Okay? So those information, again, I would like to emphasize, ALeRTO utilizes the existing early warning system of DOST Pag-asa, which are the ARG and AWLS, and the ALeRTO system processes data and send out the information directly to the LGUs. So that is how the ALeRTO system works. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
A couple of questions about that, Prof. Mario. Paano po nare-receive ng LGU yung information? Is that through an automated report, parang nakakonect na po sa kanila yon, or purely through SMS? Okay.
So currently ang setup natin is that we have 2 ways or modes how the LGUs can monitor the river basin by way of the website, and itong you call it information coming from the system is done via SMS. Via SMS. So si LGUs has to register dito sa ALeRTO system. So yun yung requirement natin. Magre-register lang si LGUs sa ALeRTO system, and then he can already receive information coming from the system, for the specific river sa area nila, kasi site specific tayo. And they can also view yung status ng river basin nila using our ALeRTO website. The ALeRTO website currently is being hosted by in Region 9 by the Office of Civil Defense.
Oh, okay.
So we can share to you later on the website, Sige,
yes,
thank you.
And then, have we reached the level na po na, so LG receives the SMS? I've also read in your website that part of the design ng ALeRTO is to involve the community. So, yung SMS po ba na ito will be received din ng community members of that specific LGU?
All right. So, yun din ang question, Kasi we wanted that those who are registered registered user ng ALeRTO sa system, ng ALeRTO system, they are the legitimate member of the LDRMOs, For example, ang mayor, and then si DILG can also receive. OCD, they monitor kasi nandoon sa kanila yung server namin, and they handle the website. So kumbaga, ngayon nakalimit tayo, per LGU at least 10, per LGU na makaka-receive ng SMS. Now, we are still developing, We are still developing as such that for now limited muna sa 10. And we are thinking that dapat siguro hindi siya magiging parang kumbaga text blast, that would cause panic also sa
Okay.
member ng community. So we wanted that the SMS should reach the proper authority lang muna. And it is the responsible now of the LGU to disseminate, at least galing from the officials of the LGUs. Okay? So yun.
Para sa
So,
timely decision making, ganyan po.
yes, exactly. So we leave it to the LGUs. Once they receive the message or the warnings, then therefore we leave it to the LGUs to disseminate na sa area nila. Kasi we do not want that this information to be out of hand. No, kasi that this information might eventually cause panic. Instead of saving lives, nagkaroon tayo ng perhaps stampede and so on and so forth. Yung mga ganon. So, yon. For now, that's how we set up the system. No, site specific and limited lang muna ang SMS information that is received by LGUs. Okay? Sige.
Thank you for that, Prof. Mario. And then, right now, ilang LGUs na po and saan po nag-work na yung ALERTO?
Okay. So of course, region 9 as the pioneer region, in terms of the implementation ng ALeRTO system. Now, when DILG, LGA, invited us, for a possible, setting up or coming up with a disaster preparedness manual or the list of protocol for localized weather disturbance, DILG through the then Secretary Anyo supported ALeRTO when we presented sa NDRRMC, and utilized ALeRTO as a science-based information in crafting the list of protocol for localized weather disturbance. So basically, when we did the manual, kasi ganito yan. If you would recall, si ALeRTO would send color-coded information, yellow, orange, and red. No? And then, syempre, the question there again is that, ano yung gagawin ni LGU? Anong gagawin ni LGU sa information? Yellow warning, orange, red warning, anong gagawin nila? Remember that we have already a list of protocol for typhoon. Okay? For typhoon. Now, given the geographic location of the Philippines, kami rito sa Mindanao, bihira pumapasok yung typhoon sa amin. Okay? Mostly, we are affected of yung mga localized thunderstorms, which is not typhoon. So, ngayon, anong gagawin ni LGU? Anong susundin nila? Kasi walang protocol. All right. So what we did, using ALeRTO system, we developed a protocol for localized weather disturbance. So kung anong gagawin ni LGU when they receive yellow, orange, and red warnings. So each of the color code warnings are, kumbaga, may kaakibat na actions to be taken by the LGU. And that is present sa list of protocol, disaster preparedness manual for localized weather disturbance. Okay? So hindi lang siya information, pero may kaakibat na protocol na gagawin or the LGU should follow every time they will receive these color code warnings. So yon. Now in terms of where is it now, now when we pilot tested the manual, there are 3 provinces in Luzon, Kinuha namin yung very challenging province region in Luzon, yung Isabela province, Isabela province, which is currently they are experiencing the impact of Maymay and the effect of Maymay. And then of course that is Pampanga, okay? And then of course for Visayas, kinuha namin yung Samar, Samar, which is also facing the Pacific Ocean. So therefore ito the typhoon belt ng Pilipinas in si Samar. Bicol, by the way, we also included sa pilot testing. Kaya when we pilot tested the manual together with the ALeRTO system, we basically identified the area no, identified the area, those area in the Philippines or regions in the Philippines that are constantly, okay, affected by localized weather disturbances. So basically, in Zamboanga alone, okay, in the region, so we have 12 municipalities that are identified, no, highly vulnerable to localized flooding due to localized weather disturbances. So ganun din all over the Philippines, each of the regions, no, sa Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao, may mga identified areas tayo. Basically, siguro nasa ano tayo, more or less 9 provinces, no, all over the Philippines that are participated in pilot testing the ALeRTO system.
That's very good to hear kasi we're now seeing how it will scale up nationwide. But another question po siguro right now, we're talking about rivers kanina, but is this applicable, for example, here along the lake shore of Laguna de Bay, for example, madalas ang flooding dito and I'm part of that community.
Okay.
Is this
Alright,
applicable din po and for other bodies of water? For example, sa mga communities malapit sa mga waterfalls, even if walang typhoon, di pa po minsan may mga threshold din yung water level doon.
Yeah. If you would recall, in my presentation kanina when I shared screen, I emphasized, no, si ALeRTO system utilizes the existing sensors of DOST Pag-asa, yung ARG at saka AWLS. So, and we also emphasize that ALeRTO system is for river-based flooding, no, river-based flooding. So meaning to say, so as long as may sensors, no, sa area, ALeRTO system can be utilized. Now, there was a question when we did our, kasi we conducted trainers training already for the implementation ng list of protocol for localized weather disturbance all over the Philippines. We conducted the training already and we ended last, I think 2 weeks ago, dyan sa Maynila, no? We conducted for the regions 1 to regions 4A and B. No, yun yung naiwan na regions na hindi namin na-train. So we conducted the training 2 weeks ago. So ang question is that what about sa urban areas na walang river? Okay?
Yes.
So basically, we do not recommend, no, areas na walang river basin, no, na gagamitin nila ang ALeRTO kasi sensor-based si ALeRTO. So yung mga urban floodings are usually like mostly sa areas ng Maynila, no, kasi hindi naman ano sila and urbanized sila, and then well, of course, except areas in Marikina, no, that are affected with the Marikina River. So yon, yung iba naman wala silang major river basins, no, and mostly ang flooding that is usually affected in Metro Manila or our urban flooding brought about by yung drainage problem. So yun yung limitation ni ALeRTO. So it's not applicable for areas that has no ARGs and AWLS and areas or inundated areas that are due to tawag natin na drainage problems. So hindi si ALeRTO applicable doon. Okay.
Okay. Now, Prof. Mario, my next question will be mostly about the engagement with LGU because, for example, may LGU po na interested to explore the possibilities of having ALeRTO system in their locality. Paano po yung dynamics of coordination na kailangan? And maybe tell us a bit more, paano po nangyari yung engagement with the other pilot LGUs?
Okay. All right. So si ALeRTO, when we conceptualized ALeRTO, we sat down with the line government agencies sa region, no? Specifically sa RDRIMC, okay, Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council ng Region 9. And then we sat down separately, with the ILG, with Office of Civil Defense, with DOST as the funding agency of the ALeRTO. So pinag-usapan, and we went down to the community and do some consultation also. What do you need in terms of early warning system? What do we have in terms of early warning system? Ano pa yung kailangan, ano pa yung kulang? So we have the flood hazard maps, we have the ARG, AWLS. So ano pa yung kulang sa community? Then therefore, community, they wanted a simplified information in terms of the flood hazard. So then si ALeRTO utilizes the existing, sinasabi nga natin, technology available and process the data and turn it into an information that is usable, friendly siya sa mga LGUs. Hindi na nila kailangan i-analyze ang data, hindi na nila kailangan i-process the data because the data are already processed by the ALeRTO system itself. So, given that, when we presented the concept to the RDRRMC, ano pa yung kulang? Ano pa yung kulang dito sa system? So yan, pumasok si RDRRMC, other than the color-coded warnings, siguro kailangan din natin ng actions to be taken by the LGU. Kaya sa website, papasok, kung titingnan ni LGU sa website, especially those who are registered user ng ALeRTO, they have the option kung ano yung i-click nila doon sa website. In every warnings that they will receive, lalabas doon ang actions to be taken by the LGU. So what they have to do is to execute the action. And how did we standardize and calibrated the action? Now the minimum alpha level sa list of protocol for typhoon, doon ang basis ng actions to be done by the LGU. Now, how does these actions done or to be taken by the LGU acceptable to the community? So we consulted again to our DRRMC, and then we also consulted DILG and specifically si Codex, which is an arm office of the DILG that handles disaster. Kaya yung mga actions to be taken are basically consulted and standardized together with the line government agencies. So
and thank you for emphasizing that, because especially this year in our IDRR day, isa po sa mga hina-highlight ng UN na we have several systems for early warning systems. We have the information, pero much important ang paggamit ng mga data na ito. Kung paano siya gagamitin, especially down to the community level sa mga
tama. I agree with you, I agree with you. And data, it's not only how it's being utilized, and this data should be as much as possible simplified for the LGUs. Kasi during time of disaster, wala nang oras ipaprocess mo pa yung data, di ba? So dapat very quick and the timely manner of the information, kasi time is of essence sa disaster. The earlier that you can send the information of the impending hazard or disaster, then therefore mas madali and they will respond also quickly. And that basically saves lives.
Yes,
so yun yung pinaka-goal natin. Sige. Alright.
But paano po kapag gusto mag-engage ni LGU sa ALeRTO system? Do they have to prepare a certain, let's say, financial investment? Paano po sila pwedeng lumapit for support?
First, kasi yung kami mga researcher, hindi kami businessman. Okay. Kaya we are actually, the Ateneo de Zamboanga University has its technology business incubator, and currently is by tomorrow, I think, they will seek approval already sa DOST to assist yung mga researchers like us, sino yung magde-develop or sino yung magpo-produce ng system ng develop the product of research, no? Sino yung magpo-produce. So kumbaga, in terms of the production of the system, basically we are ready. But as to the how much, no, as to the how much, we wanted to ensure that the LGUs, no, the cost of ALeRTO system will not cost you much. Because Ateneo de Zamboanga University, we are a non-profit organization. No, we are non-profit academic organization. All we wanted is to provide the technology to the LGUs, no, and with a reasonable price. With a reasonable price. Yun yung mantra ni Ateneo de Zamboanga University especially, no. Ayaw namin mag-profit. So where in fact, no, this was emphasized also when we presented the idea, no, to our TBI. Ang gusto natin is to help the LGUs. As to where they can contact us, currently nag-connect na sa amin si Bicol Region, that's Region 5, and then Region 3, and just recently, of course, si Region 9 is ano na namin yan eh. And then of course Region 10, no, Region 10. So they already connected to us through the DILG, So DILG communicated with us endorsing the LGUs, no, sino man yung LGUs that are interested sa ALeRTO system, and we communicated to them directly. So we wanted that it should be endorsed by the DILG. Kasi nakakaano na ngayon eh, ang dami ng scam. So therefore, we wanted to protect also the LGU and at the same time protect Ateneo de Zamboanga University. Yan.
And I think that's a natural way nung dynamics because DLG will be involved naman in one way or another. Especially when it comes to LGUs.
Tama. Okay.
Now, let's have a little backtrack lang po. Kanina we're talking about the successes na po. But ano po yung mga na-encounter ninyo na challenges? And can you share to us paano na-resolve ito? Especially nung panahong nagsisimula pa lamang po ito sa mga LGU, ang ALeRTO system.
Okay. Sige. Now, note that si ALeRTO, no, again, is dependent, is a sensor-based dependent system. So we are dependent on the ARG and AWLS ng Pag-asa. No? So if these sensors are down, then therefore wala din information masasend out ni ALeRTO system. That's actually one of the major challenge that that we encountered. So, ang kagandahan lang is that si ALeRTO is DOST funded project. So, we communicated, no, si DOST are also doing their part, no, in terms of pushing DOST Pag-asa to ensure the availability of data ng mga sensors all over the Philippines. So, another is yung sending of SMS. No, yung sending ng SMS. Now, you know, during times of disaster, ang very critical, no, very critical ang communication system ng Pilipinas. Now, and for sure you experience also kayo diyan sa Maynila kung very ano siya ang typhoon, no, malakas ang typhoon. One of the problem that eventually bogs down during during disaster is communication. Nawawala si telcos. No, nawawala si telcos. So we cannot also send information to the LGUs kasi SMS dependent din si ALeRTO. Kaya when I am very happy, personally I'm very happy when I learned that, no, there are investors, international investors coming into the Philippines offering satellite, no, as a mode of communication already. So yun, maganda yun. So if we have that, and currently actually we have the what you call Diwata satellite. Now Diwata satellite, and we are trying, no, we are connected with DOST, no, DOST, ASTI and DOST projects, mga programs ito ng DOST. So we are connected with them, no, and try to utilize, no, kung ano yung communication na pwede magamit using the Diwata satellite. Okay? So we are in contact with DOST and of course ASTI. Right? So yun yung mga challenges, I think major challenges that we experience, no, as we conceptualize ALeRTO, because we wanted to ensure that the system will work. Okay?
Yes. And
So, yeah.
maybe kasama po sa mga future mga ways ahead is optimizing yung satellite resource, especially
tama.
for rural areas, ano po, dahil
Correct.
critical din sila.
Right, tama. No, our experience in areas that are vulnerable sa flooding, for example, sa BARM, no, these are poor areas, no, na Basilan, Polo, Tawi-Tawi, Sulu provinces. So, you know, ang signal are very limited, and these communities are vulnerable to flooding. Kaya every time may mga, you know, ang tawag dito, may mga system, weather system na pumapasok, we always communicate this island provinces, no. So as far as how much that we can help them in terms of information dissemination, for them to be warned already with the impending hazard. So kasi usually areas like this, hindi na umaabot yung mga telcos, mahina na yung signal, etc.
Yeah, especially in Basulta po, di ba?
Yeah,
We were
Basulta.
fortunate enough to talk with Transportation and Communications Department sa BARM, and we learned na Basulta region, sa Malaysia na sila minsan nakakakuha ng signal.
Yes, true.
So very
You're right.
critical, especially sa ALS. Imagine.
Yeah.
Ngayon po, as we are furthering doon sa ating discussion, let's now like condense ALeRTO system vis-a-vis standard framework. Ano po? How do you think ALeRTO system supports yung realization po na Sendai framework natin, especially dun sa vision to have a early warning for all?
Now, in terms of the early warning system, no, ng Pilipinas, now I cannot speak of all hazards, no, but we are more of keen kami sa early warning system on flooding, no, flood hazard. So, you know, we have much improved. Si Pag-asa actually has improved a lot, no. So, in fact, si Pag-asa is in terms of its improvement is already moving at far with the world tawag dito meteorological organization or WMO, no. Humahabol talaga si Pag-asa diyan, and we congratulate, no, the efforts of Pag-asa. So under the directorship of Malano. So kaya lang, no, of course, with the we are actually, no, again improving, but we need to further improve in terms of especially the accuracy, no, the accuracy of the forecast, no, improve the forecast accuracy and the information dissemination, mode of information and dissemination. It has to reach, no, at all levels of the province, no, hindi lang sa province but as much as possible down to the community, which is barangay. So yun yung ginagawa namin sa ALeRTO system, basically reach down to the barangay. We are kasi si disaster is not just the business of the province or the region, no. It should reach down to the barangay, especially si barangay, no, kasi sila yung mga frontliners. Sila yung mga frontliners in every disaster that we experience. Sila yung nauuna. So dapat sila yung uunahin din natin in terms of what to do. So then therefore we have to capacitate the barangay.
Mhm.
And of course, with the given information that is being sent out by Pag-asa, and dapat siguro na we have to already embrace a science-based information na.
Mhm.
So we are improving. No, we are improving. No, so yun yung ang nakikita ko, no, for the hydrometeorological hazard. I cannot speak of other early warning system. No.
Yeah, that's okay.
So it reach as far as areas that are well reachable if there are signal from the telcos. Yung mga vulnerable also areas na highly vulnerable, poor areas are actually areas na wala silang information na receive because of our communication system. Kaya no, further improvement in terms of the accuracy of the forecast and of course information dissemination should be efficient. So yun.
Habang dinidetalye niyo yun, Prof. Mario, I can't help but to be excited din. I know malaki pa yung kailangan nating gawin, but as you said, marami na yung improvements. Pero looking at that vision, nakaka-excite kasi it's the nail, hindi lang yung efficiency of the system, pero yung inclusivity. So yun yung maganda rin sa nabanggitin nyo na down to the barangay level na mga frontliners at madalas sila yung malayo sa center of the LGU. So very critical talaga. And now that you've mentioned that, you know that RISE Philippines is the alliance for private sector alliance for disaster resilient societies. Sa tingin po ninyo, parte papasok dito ang private sector? Una, how can they benefit? Paano po makakatulong ito sa kanila yung ganitong system katulad ng ALeRTO system? At paano sila makakatulong po para ma-achieve pa itong mga improvements na nabanggit ninyo?
Okay, thank you. Now, that's a very interesting question, no? Kasi in every disaster, especially flooding, it cut across the community. So hindi lang si residential, no, but it includes all no members of the community are affected, no, especially sa flooding. Especially din, no, yung mga business sectors, no. Now siguro ang pwede natin gawin, no, question kasi saan papasok yung mga business sectors in terms of the addressing disaster. Now siguro ang maganda is that for the business sectors, no, whether you're small or medium or big business, then perhaps it's high time for the business sector to invest on research, no, and depende, no, kung saan sila located, no. I think they need to invest also on early warning system. Because no, kung apektuhan, no, yung komunidad, then eventually the business will also be affected. Now, as a member of the Regional Land Use Committee ng NEDA Region 9, so I always emphasize, so in every development na ginagawa sa region, we should already utilize the maps, no, that is generated by the line government agency like FGB. Yung mga hazard maps na generate by the line government agencies, it should be considered doon sa development plans ng region, no. So thus business will also be included, no, in the development. Kasi syempre naman, who would like to do business in area that is constantly flooding? So then therefore, yung mga existing naman, no, yung mga existing, so then we encourage them to invest also in early warning system and of course research. Kasi magkaiba-iba ang needs ng region. So if the business located in Region 9, so ano yung early warning system na pwede nilang pasukin or can be funded. So very critical actually si business sector, no, in terms of the disaster resilient thing. Kaya we encourage, personally I encourage, no, sana si business sector will also consider funding researches, no, especially areas that where their business are located. And siguro as such, we can also see other areas in the Philippines, baka pwede siya gamitin din yung mga ganon. So it's a matter of, test and retest the system, test and retest the technology developed, and eventually have it perfect, no, when applied in a bigger scale, yung mga ganon.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, Prof. Mario. As much as I would like to talk about this even further, napakagandang topic and very timely, especially ito po sa atin sa Pinas, na right now, dati yung place natin for disaster risk vulnerability, pero ngayon, nasa top na tayo.
Number one.
Kaya very important po ang mga usapin na ganito, and we are very thankful for your time in behalf of Arise Philippines board members, and thank you rin po sa Ateneo de Zamboanga University for letting you be a part of our endeavor for today. Any last messages po before we close our video podcast for today?
Yeah, siguro lang, no, this is just a very laymanized message based on the observation, no. Ang gusto lang natin mangyari is that I hope that the disaster is not just a business or responsibility, that Filipinos will realize it's not just a business, or it's not a responsibility of a single person or a single agency. No, it is the business of everybody. Kaya ang sa akin is that each member, no, of the community has its role to perform, no, has its role or duties to do, no. Ang sa akin is that we have to believe the system, no, trust and believe the system where we are in right now, no, and let's work together, no. Now this will at least, no, ang sa atin ang pinaka goal ng DRR is basically to save lives. So as such, if we work together, no, then therefore we can achieve our quest for a disaster resilient Philippines. So yun lang po siguro. Then again, no, from Zamboanga City, muchísimas gracias a todos.
That's a very nice way to end this podcast. Maraming salamat, Prof. Mario. I'm Chat from Rise Philippines, and napaalala po namin sa inyo that disaster risk reduction and climate resilience is everybody's business. Kaya naman, #early warning for all. Maraming salamat po. Good afternoon.